Sylvester, it's lovely to see you here at Collectomania. Everyone enjoyed you so much, and we saw you in the Five-ish Doctors last year for the 50th anniversary. What was it like taking part in that?
It was a hoot. I mean, it was great fun. We started making it at the beginning of the year in Australia, and then it was a very amateurish thing with, handheld camera owned by Peter, and then suddenly the BBC got a bit involved and became semi-professional. Well, we just used to, whenever we weren't working, grab time. At one point I had to give up breakfast in Paris to race back because Paul was only free that morning and I had to go back to Paris and film with him. There was all that kind of thing going on, but at the same time it was just a hoot and great fun.
And of course a fantastic cast of characters as well and actors. What was it like working with all those guys again?
Well, I mean, John Barrowman, that was delightful, outing John Barrowman. He's not gay, really. He's got a family with children. And the various others. And what was also delightful was I asked Peter Jackson when I was filming in New Zealand that in June, July last year, if he would do that little bit. And he did. And he got Ian involved. I didn't ask Ian, but Peter said, Ian will do it. He'll do it. So that was good. It was great watching it too, seeing Sean in it, Sean Pertwee and the various other people that popped up. And Russell T Davies, it was hilarious at the end, wasn't it? It's Peter Davison is the kind of the guy behind it. That he and his daughter, were Paul, David Tennant's wife, my daughter, granddaughter. I don't know what relation she is to all the doctors, but anyway, you know who I mean, Victoria. It's Georgia. It was Georgia, yeah. Delightful, lovely Georgia.
Of course, you mentioned there's a little crossover, wasn't there, with The Hobbit and the Doctor? And of course, I'm sure people have been asking you about The Hobbit as well today. They love you in that as Radagast. I mean, what was it like joining that world and getting fitted out for the part of Radagast?
Well, it's a great adventure, a huge adventure. It's taken nearly 3 years, really, going back and forward to New Zealand and Australia and travelling all over the world. Getting fitted out was, easy. The costume was easy to put on and take off. The makeup was a bit longer, took about an hour and a half. I mean, the bird poo was, well, someone had to do it. It's a pooey job, but someone had to do it.
I mean, did you have any kind of Radagast or wizard equivalent of the dwarf camp that the dwarves went on?
No, I didn't. I was lucky in that way. I didn't have to run about. Although it was quite fun. I mean, I think they had a good time doing all that. No, I arrived, they put the bird poo on me and sent me onto the set.
And what did you find was the most challenging scene that you shot over the course of the 3 movies?
I think the scene where I save Sebastian, is it Sebastian's life? Yeah, the hedgehog's life. I mean, that was very challenging because I was the only one there, and therefore we filmed for 12 hours, and the set was delightful, but it was also incredibly hot, and they had to pump cold air in, as well, and the floor was higgledy-piggledy, and so you kind of twist your ankle running around. It was very, 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 kind of demanding, but great. I mean, also at the same time, it was great to be able to do that, have that privilege of being on a big, huge screen with just me and an upstaging hedgehog.
I mean, what are you most looking forward to about the upcoming movie, which has recently been retitled, hasn't it, to The Battle of the Five Armies?
Well, yes, I mean, I think everybody knows, if they've read the book, that there is a battle of 5 armies. Well, I'm looking forward to see if I'm in it.
Recently, Viggo Mortensen, who of course was in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, talked about working with Peter Jackson. And he said that when he filmed those Lord of the Rings films, that the second and third film weren't quite as organised as people thought they might have been at the time. There was a lot of reshoots, and he felt it was a little bit of a mess. I mean, how did you find it working with Peter Jackson? Because obviously we've got one book here that's been expanded into 3 films.
I found it great. I mean, I really like Peter. I mean, I got to know him, obviously working on it, and he's a really down-to-earth, good bloke. And everything seemed to work very smoothly as far as my experience, really. Although we were only filming 2 films up until the last week, and then suddenly they said, I think we're going to make it into 3, so come back next year and do some more. Oh, well, okay. I wasn't at all disappointed to go back again for a 3rd year. No, I enjoyed working with him a lot, really.
And finally, we've got to welcome a new Doctor onto the screen very shortly. What are you looking forward to seeing about Peter Capaldi's Doctor?
Well, it's great to go back to a more mature Doctor, I think. That'd be interesting, just for tale-telling, really. It'll have a different kind of hue and colour on it because of he's being older. But he's a great actor, and so, there's no reason why he won't be a great Doctor.